Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Level 1 podcast of Business of Racing. This is James with Level 1 Motorsports, sitting here once again, L1M driver Kyle Dager.
I'm back, yeah.
He's back.
I must have did a good job that first time you invited me back.
You did. Well, to be, you want the truth, or you want me to lie to you?
Lie to me. Make me feel
yeah,
good.
you did a really good job.
Thank you.
You did a phenomenal job. It's not that we couldn't get anybody else at all.
No,
that's not
of course
the case.
not.
No, man, it's cool. It's good. You did a good job. You do a good job.
All right.
You're much more than a driver. You're a podcast host. You're the interior guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're the crawl into the car guy.
Yeah.
you know,
and an amateur tattoo artist.
And an amateur tattoo artist. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a. People don't know this, but in addition to racing, I'm a gynecologist,
Oh man,
a proctologist, and a meteorologist.
I didn't even know
I got
that.
my hands in everything. Dude.
Yeah.
I really do. So Kyle wears many hats. If he was an Indian, his name would be Man of Many Hats. That would be his name. If I was an Indian, I think that's what my Indian name be. He who burns money. That'd be my name.
That's pretty fitting. Yeah.
That's pretty good, right? It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, everything going okay?
It's pretty good.
How was your week?
It was good.
Very good. Very cool, man. As we're sitting here today recording this is actually give you guys a little behind the scenes peeky poo because we got a busy week coming up, so we're recording this one a little bit early. You'll actually hear another podcast before you hear this one, but this one we're recording on Thursday the 8th, and I bring that up because we're actually sitting here talking about the ARCA cars hit the track today at Daytona.
Yeah.
And the speeds. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you said Dave Mater the third was fastest in practice.
Top of the charts.
Top of the charts. Which car is he in? The 63?
Yep.
63. I'm not sure who owns that, but good for them, man. Good for them.
Yep.
What was the top five? Give us top five.
Dave, Kirk Horton in the 37, Gus Dean in the 32, Will Rogers in the 52, and Cole Roar something in the 7. Yeah,
that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, old man Roar's boy.
Yeah.
What the hell? Hey, Gus Dean, man, that's a big name in there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Gus Dean's he's the real deal in an ARCA car. He's probably gonna be in NASCAR in the next 2 years. You'd say? I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I would say in trucks, but I got the sneaky feeling that may be a guy that goes to Xfinity pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel that way.
There's been quite a few guys that have been doing that recently.
Yeah. I can tell you why. Because there ain't no damn money in trucks. That's why. It costs way too much to run for what you get back. But that's kind of changing, I still keep my ear to the ground for the Truck Series stuff, and from what I understand, there's a few cost-cutting measures coming down the pipeline. Mm-hmm. And I think you're going to see, I don't want to say a big revival in that series, but I think there's going to be a growth spurt in that series for sure. I think you're going to see, instead of being a couple of trucks short, you're going to see them maybe sending 4 or 5 trucks home a week, something like that, in the next couple of years. But so ARCA, they're out there practicing today. They race Saturday the 10th.
Yep.
So obviously, by the time you hear this, you're going to know who won. I would tell you, but actually, if I really knew, I'd probably go bet some money on it or something. If I could get my little time machine and go forward, I'd probably bet some money on it.
Yeah.
But and then the Cup cars are down there too. I think those guys all the guys that are in the Clash are down there. Mm-hmm. I think those guys actually hit the track tomorrow for practice. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
And they race on Sunday. The Clash. You know what? I actually looked at who all was in it, but For the life of me, I can't.
I actually passed a few of the JGR haulers on my way to school this week.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, probably every one of those guys are in it, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
I would say. Hell, the way it is now, 2/3 of the field's in it. It used to be just pole winners. That's kind of how it was. But, well, hey, that's okay, too. More the merrier. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me drink here. I got my Powerade Zero. I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
I got a big season coming up.
Was that a sponsor plug?
You may have heard about it. Well, I wish. Dude, one of these days when we don't have anything else to talk about, we'll sit down and we'll tell the story of we have been contacted by a couple of energy drink companies in years past.
Really?
One of them is really, really unique. They're actually out of the UK. They're really big over there, and I still don't think they've quite caught on over here. But they're really unique, and fortunately we weren't able to put anything together. And one of these days we'll tell the story why. So that gives everybody something to look forward to. So we were sitting here kicking around. Hey man, what we're going to talk about? Yada yada yada. So we actually at this point in time, we had a test evaluation session 2 Fridays ago.
Yep.
2 Fridays ago at Hickory.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a young man out of Minnesota come down. He was 13, I believe. It's like 3 foot nothing.
14, yeah. He is a little short guy.
A little jockey.
Yeah.
He had a little issue.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little issue. He may or may not have backed the car in the fence.
Yeah.
But we whipped it back into shape and finished the day. And there may or may not be some news coming down the pipeline for him.
And
a little bit later on.
He wasn't bad for 14 years old.
Yeah, no, he was really good.
He's a nice little shoe.
And I mean, he wasn't flopping around in the car by any stretch of the imagination. But obviously it wasn't, the car is not set up for somebody that's, 3.5 feet tall or whatever.
Right.
He's not a midget, but he's a little guy.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have some news with him a little bit later down the pipeline, a little bit later in the year. He's going to be running dirt modifieds out in the Midwest this year for a little bit. But, end of the year, there's some big late model races around here. I'm just saying. You never know. But, another guy that came to that test is Paul, and man, I'm going to butcher his name. It's Paul Linkous. We'll actually ask him if that's correct. I'm sure it's not. But Paul came to our deal, and Paul has done some. Paul's not 14.
No.
And he's a little taller. I don't know how old Paul is. He's not old, but he's not 14. He's done some, Richard Petty driving experience type deals, but ours was the first true test evaluation deal for a Team 2 race that he's done. And he came in and did a really good job, I thought. He did. I mean, that's, we were fighting a few little battles that day. The track was really green, virtually zero rubber on it. But hey, nothing in racing is ever perfect. So it's how you deal with these things. I thought he did pretty good. So basically, he's the first guy to get signed to the new karting program.
Yep.
So he's going to come and run a handful of kart races with us. With Nate Green, and we need to have Nate on the show. Why the hell did we need to get Nate on the show? Nate's, and this is on Facebook, but Nate Green is kind of he's heading up that program. He's a super good kart racer. He's won this, won that, championships. He's been a factory rider for Phantom, I think. Really good kart racer. And that's kind of, and he wants to move up for some personal goals and that sort of thing. But he's really, really planted in the kart racing scene, and he's heading up that deal for us. But Paul's the first guy to be signed to that, and man, we're excited. because I think that program is going to just take off, and then in the next couple of years, I think it's going to be its own little thing.
Yeah.
You're going to have the level 1 karting program, and then everything else. I just really feel like it's going to be its own little cool little thing. But like we talked about before, that puts us towards our goal of being a true stepping stone program from zero to hero.
Yeah.
Starting on the ground from nothing all the way up to right now ARCA, but we've got aspirations to get back into NASCAR, but at the end of the day it has to make business sense. But I mean, there again, I don't know of any other zero to hero driver development program. So I'll tell you what, man. Hey, why don't we see if we can't get old Paul on the phone and talk to him a little bit and see what he's got going on. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, brother. All right, everybody, we got Paul on the phone, and Paul, I'm. How you doing, bud? First of all.
Hey, doing great. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And I've already told everybody I probably murdered your last name. Say your last name for us.
Linkous, Linkous, but just
Linkous.
say it like Linkous, yeah,
Linkous.
without the O.
we were saying Linkous.
Yeah, a lot of people have. That's all right.
It's Linkous.
Yeah,
All right. Well, hey, you know what? You've been called worse by better, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Ain't no problem, man.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, once you fill everybody in a little bit on your background, we kind of touched on it, and then we'll talk about the upcoming season.
Great. Sounds good. Yeah, my background, let's see. I've always loved it. Shoot, for years, I've always wanted to drive a race car, and actually finally talked myself into it last year. Done a couple of the seat time racing schools, great people. Done at Bristol, and the second I got strapped into the car, I knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. So then I done it at Charlotte, and loved the speed and all that even better. So I wound up doing both schools twice more last summer. So and here we are. So
awesome, man, awesome. And of course, you came to one of our test evaluation sessions that we run a few of them through the year. And for some of the guys out there that may be listening and they've kind of looked in to contacting us and seeing if we can help them and that sort of thing. It's a little hard to know what to expect until you do it. But as far as when you came and you did our deal, how was that experience for you?
Oh man, I thought I was going to be nervous getting into it, and but I don't know. It's like the second I met you all, it wasn't a nervous thing. Everything sort of got fun. It was laid back, and then whenever I actually got in the car and strapped in, it was, I don't know, I just have a passion for it, and I was zeroed in as soon as I got strapped in, and thought I done pretty good, and just being around you guys, man, it made it a great day. So.
Awesome, brother. I want to touch base on two things one thing you said there, and then another thing that applies to it. And I've asked different guys that same question before, and the things that always keep coming back is a lot more relaxed and laid back than they thought it was going to be. And I don't know. I really don't know what people think it's going to be. But I mean, we take it serious what we do, but we want to make sure that at the end of the day, whether we work with a guy or whether we don't or whatever happens, we want to make sure they had an enjoyable experience. There's been times I had to yell at a guy here and there, but and Kyle's seen it.
I've seen it.
Really, it's pretty laid back, and you roll in, and you kind of do what we ask you to do, and typically it turns out to be a good day.
Yeah, I had a wonderful day. Yeah,
awesome,
one I'll never forget. Yeah. Awesome,
man. So we were telling everybody, we got you signed up for our karting program, and man, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. We had one of our former guys that had came and tested with us, and we were trying to put something together for him, and originally I kind of floated it out there to him. Hey man, we got this kart deal, and we really need to kick it off the ground with a good guy that can get on there and give us some results and really get our program off the ground. And man, he kind of poo-pooed on it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, but when I mentioned it to Paul, man, he was just super excited. Yeah, man, he's ready to take that challenge on, and to kind of set the bar for future guys to come. Mm-hmm. So that got me excited. But we're really excited about our karting program, because that was one of the last pieces of the puzzle to make us a truly zero to hero driver development program. So, and with Nate Green running that thing, and with the equipment that he has, that we have, man, I really think that in a couple of years, our karting program is going to be one of the absolute best out there. They have their own Daytona Speed Weeks.
Yeah.
And of course we didn't go this year. We have plans of going next year with the karting program. And I mean, when we show up down there, I mean, I think we can be as competitive as anybody. I really do. But beyond that, I know Paul's got some goals beyond that, and that's kind of what we talked about, was doing a few kart races, and then by that point, Kyle mostly will be moved on from the late model deal, and hopefully we'll be able to move Paul up at that point, running some late model races, and then from there it's just we gotta see how things go. But are you ready for that challenge?
Oh, I'm extremely, extremely hungry to get going. Super ambitious, but yeah, I know. I definitely don't have any ego going into here. I know got to take things from the beginning and step by step, just like anybody else. And I'd race lawnmowers if I had to, but I'm ready to go, man.
Those look fun.
Yeah, especially if it'll help the team. I'm 100% involved.
James and I have had multiple conversations about racing lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
We've gotten pretty close to pulling the trigger a few times. But,
yeah, we're just just about when we think we're going to get caught up on what we actually do for a living, we our race stuff. We figure out, hell, we're still 2 months in the hole.
Yeah.
It's gosh, man, it's always something. We're just in but hell, it is what it is. That's the business. I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, man, like I said, that was kind of what got me excited about Paul, was that he was so excited to take that challenge on. And we always talk about attitude, work ethic, and talent in that order. I think he has all three. I think he has them in the right proportion. Yeah. Obviously, he's got a solid attitude. He's got a good work ethic. And I really think the talent's there. And we just got to give him some seat time. And then I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
So. Hey, thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to meet you guys back then, too. And if you don't care, I'd just like to thank God, man, for giving me this day and the strength to be here, and for the health, too. And thank all my friends and family for the support to even get me here. So just want to mention that real quick. Yeah.
Absolutely, and nobody can do this by themselves. I could never have gotten where I'm at by myself. Kyle couldn't have got where he's got by myself. Obviously you have friends and family that are supporting you and pushing you and everything. So, nobody does it alone.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, man, I tell you what, brother. Anybody you want to give a shout out to here before we roll on? Anybody else, rather?
My mom and dad, my brother, all my friends, and you guys definitely. So, yeah, hopefully everybody will hear about us this summer. So that's
awesome, man. Yeah, that's the plan. We got high hopes, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, we'll try to fulfill them. That's for sure. Yeah.
We got big goals, and I think we got the right guy to do it. Well, hey man, I tell you what, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time hanging out with us here, and we hit each other up every other day or so, and we got a few other things to talk about as far as the dates and stuff. And actually, I got a little bit of information on that too. That I'll talk to you about some point down the road. But hey, thanks for being on. And like I said, I'm sure we'll talk later, brother.
All right, see you, Kyle. See you, James.
See you, bud.
guys.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Paul
Linkous.
Yeah, man, Paul's a good guy. I'm excited.
Me too. Yeah.
Me too, man. I think he's the right guy. Like I said, look here. I'm not gonna name any names. You know who you are, but you poo-pooed on my karting program.
I was excited about that when we launched that, because I was like we talked about last week. Like me coming from karts, and you can learn a lot about racing other guys and racing them close, from karts. So I don't know. I was pretty excited about when we launched that.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. If you've never raced at all, you just need to race.
Right.
It don't matter if it's on a big wheel, or you know what I'm saying, or running around a parking lot.
Right.
You just need to race. And that's the perfect place to get an aim. And them guys ain't no pushovers. There's some there's guys that race go-karts for a living. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're no joke. And I don't want to make it sound like we're just going to roll in there and blow everybody out of the water. We're going to go in and take our lumps like everybody else. But I truly believe that in a year's time or so that we're going to be on par with everybody. And I really think that's going to take a life of its own. That's kind of what I'm hoping anyway.
Yep.
And be able to send a lot of guys through that and get them going. I think we've kind of covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to go over? Okay, let's back up. Daytona races, predictions, truck, Xfinity, and Cup. The Cup being the 500. Predictions.
Honestly, everybody's got a shot going into it. I'm kind of excited to see how the new Chevy bodies are how they're gonna do at Daytona.
You don't really know till you
Right.
Sim testing and wind tunnel and pull downs is one thing, but when you stick it out there and in the wind, that's whole something else. Yeah. Let's work backwards. I'm gonna go. Man, I'm gonna step out there a little bit. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go Alex Bowman.
Alex Bowman.
For the 500.
That would be a storyline. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm going Alex Bowman. Xfinity, I'm going. Gosh, I don't know because there's a bunch of Cup guys in that race. If it's a non-Cup regular, I'm going Chris Bell.
Yep, I like Chris Bell.
If it's a Cup guy, I'm going Kyle Busch. Mm-hmm. If he's in it, he may not be in it. I don't know. Tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The trucks, Johnny Sauter.
Johnny Sauter.
That's my picks.
All right.
Write it down. If it's not right, I'll change it.
We got a few weeks to change it, so
we got a couple of days here to figure this thing out. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to write it down. Of course, we're going to throw this away here in a minute, but trucks is Johnny Sauter. I remember Johnny from back in the day. I remember Johnny ran ASA.
Oh man.
He was dude. That guy has earned everything that he has. That's an old school racer right there, Johnny Sauter. Xfinity, I'm gonna go Chris Bell. If it's a Cup guy, if he's in it, I'm sure he's in it. K. Busch. And then for Cup, I'm going way out on the limb and saying Alex Bowman in the 88.
All right. You gonna make me pick?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh man, trucks. I think it's hard to ever count Matt Crafton out.
Going Crafton?
Crafton, yeah.
Okay.
And they just switched to Ford this year.
Yeah, the funny part is, yeah, they did, yeah. Dude, I didn't see that coming out anywhere because they've been Toyota forever and a day, and anybody on the inside knows that Toyota has really been really and truly the only manufacturer that's been putting money in the trucks in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Keselowski was there with the Ford, they had some help, obviously. And when Childress came back, they had a little help from Chevrolet. But as far as being fully integrated in the deal, Toyota's been the leader in that for a while. All right, Xfinity.
I like Chris Bell. I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Okay.
And Cup,
There's so many. I mean, it's literally
it's gonna be a crapshoot.
all but maybe two cars could legit. You know what? Anybody could legitimately win that race.
Yeah.
Under the right conditions.
Yeah, I like. I don't know. I think Truex. I think he's gonna continue with the steam going on.
Truex can win anywhere. And I'm pretty sure that they haven't lost their edge over the winter. Chevrolet's got a new body, like you touched upon. If you listen to Brad Keselowski, Fords are useless. I'm just playing a little bit. I like Brad, actually. But, he's not the only one that says the Fords have a little bit of a deficit. And, Toyota's, well, he drove Toyota last year, but, crap. The kid that was Truex's teammate last year.
Eric Jones,
thank you. And then Daniel Suarez, his second year, obviously. I think Toyota's stacked.
Oh,
I mean, they've got the Gibbs. Well, Gibbs has all those guys.
Yeah.
Gibbs has all those guys, plus Truex. Gibbs doesn't have them, but it's Toyota car. Who else is? That's kind of it, really, right? That's the big Toyota.
The top teams.
The top Toyota hitters, and then obviously with Chevrolet, you've got even though they had a little rough year last year, I'd say you still got to put Hendrick on top, and then Childress. Fords fell off a little bit last year. They really did.
I think with Penske though, they're going to start hitting their marks this year.
Blaney had a good year last year.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Blaney had a good year based on, well, he had a good year no matter what, but really based on where he was.
Yeah.
But hell, win one race with Penske, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
If he can transfer that. And he made the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, made the chase.
He made it a few rounds in, too.
Well, if he won a race, he made the chase. I'm like, jeez, man. My brain is just...
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week. And we got a long week coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we I don't even want to talk about it. We got to get ready to go back and test at Hickory 1 week from tomorrow. And, by the way, I've been looking at the weather damn near hourly. As of right now, it's actually getting a little bit better for that Friday up there. Well, it's not looking as good as it did, but it's not looking horrible. So we'll continue to monitor that. And actually, we probably won't have had that test by the time everybody hears it. This will come out about middle of the week.
Yeah.
No, they won't. No, this podcast actually come out in 2 weeks. Yeah, the one previously recorded will come out next week, and then so
they're gonna.
I wish I could tell you guys how it went, but I just don't know. I just don't have a clue how it went.
Yeah. Hopefully good.
Get my little time machine, and did you ever see? This is totally off topic. Did you ever see Napoleon Dynamite?
I have.
And they had the little springy exercise thing, and they convinced the guy it was a time machine. They bought it online.
Yeah.
So we need one of those. Or DeLorean.
A DeLorean, yeah.
That'd probably fit us a little bit better.
Yeah.
You think we could? No, I got it. We got a new test car, which is an old Cup car, but it's our new test car. All we need is a flux capacitor and a Mr. Fusion. And
that's it.
And get that baby up to 88 miles per hour. And we'll go and we'll find out who wins Daytona. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come back and we'll change our picks in case it didn't work out. And then we'll we're gonna bet a bunch of money on it,
There we go.
like Biff did,
I like that.
and we're gonna get filthy, stinking rich,
Mm-hmm.
and we can finally quit this racing crap. So, sound like a plan?
Yep.
Sound like a plan to me too, man. I don't think I got anything else. You got anything else?
Nope.
That wraps it up. So I would say on our next podcast that everybody hears, it'll probably be, you know what we should probably do? This is what we're going to do. Are you coming over for the 500?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do one post 500. We'll sit down and knock it out. And that'll actually be, we may have to move some things around and make it topical. We'll figure it out. That podcast, we'll make sure everybody hears it shortly after the 500. We'll do we'll put our spin on it. We'll tell them what we think and what they should have done that we would have done different.
Yeah.
And all that. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
You know, whoever, you know, whatever they did wrong, we wouldn't have done it that way. We'd have done it another way.
Yeah.
Seems legit anyway. All right, that's all I got. Kyle Dager sitting here for Paul Linkous. Paul Linkous and Mark Davis and Nate Green and Jim Blankenbaker and James Martin. Everybody at level 1. We'll see you guys at the track.